The controversy surrounding the Tulsa Real Estate Fund has been elevated up to another notch, and that controversy is surrounded by the fund's progenitor and manager, Mr. J. Morrison, who, oh, by the way, has never managed the fund in his entire life. But that's besides the point. The reality is the Tulsa Real Estate Fund raised about $13 million just a few years ago, and now that fund is about $800,000 as of the records of 2022, which means that the fund is going towards bankruptcy, or the fund is going towards $0. And so because of that, the fund has in its assets something referred to affectionately known as the Black House. This is a big property that was bought by the fund that actually is located in Atlanta. But now let me kind of talk about this, because the fund is also known as the crown jewel of the property. And we'll get to that in a minute. But what happened was that house allegedly was sold without the knowledge of people. And that information was discovered by pocket watching with JT. I'd like to play an excerpt of his discovery, and then I'm going to come back.
A couple of days ago, someone sends me some information from Instagram. They send me a picture and they asked me the question. They said, JT, were you aware that the Legacy Center, the Black House, was sold? I said, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. It's like, listen, I'm an easygoing guy, but you're not going to get me with the okie doke. Right? You're not going to get me, with the banana in the tailpipe. I don't believe it. There's no way that Jay Morrison and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund sold the Black House and no one knew. There's no way. I don't believe it. But let me show you guys something here. Now, after I said that, I was sent a screenshot, right? I was sent a screenshot, and this is what I saw. Fulton County Board of Assessors. It shows the address of the Legacy Center. And it shows highlighted that on May the 13th, 2022, it was sold. I'm like, nah, I mean, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you who send me a story, you send me information, but I just don't run with what you send me. I have to double check your information, right? I got to make sure that this isn't photoshopped. This isn't Boyce Watkins trying to trip me up, try to make me look bad. So I said, no, I'm going to go to the Fulton County website myself, and I'm going to verify this information. I got to look it up myself. So I go to the county website, and this is what I see. It, in fact, does show that the property, the Legacy Center, it was sold May the 13th, 2022. I'm like, uh-oh. At first there was smoke. Now there's fire. It absolutely shows it was sold. But when you look a little deeper, you'll see that the sales price was for $0. That seems kind of strange. And not only was the sale price for $0, it was sold from one Tulsa Real Estate Fund LLC to another Tulsa Real Estate Fund LLC. So I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Seems a little odd. Seems a little odd to me. I'm not a multi-million-dollar fund manager. That's not what I do. I'm just a simple, humble country financial advisor. Nothing impressive. But I went to a source of information. When it comes to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, they're always on top of it, breaking down the numbers. I went to an Instagram page called Follow the Paperwork. Now, if you would like to stay up to date with what's going on with the financial statements, whatever, when it comes to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, go follow the paperwork. Great job. They break down the numbers. They actually bring receipts. Go to follow the paperwork on Instagram. All right. So I go to follow the paperwork, and they provided me with this. This document here shows that on May 13th, 2022, Tulsa Real Estate Fund LLC got a loan for $1,500,050 to buy the Legacy Center from a different LLC controlled by the fund. So why would they do that? Why would Jay Morrison and the fund get a loan, the Legacy Center, which they already owned, with another LLC? And let's be clear. Not too long ago, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he said that, he really doesn't pay attention to the numbers. He's happy with the fund mainly because of the Legacy Center. The Legacy Center is the crown jewel, in his words, I believe. And even though the numbers may look bad, even though it looks like the fund could be going into bankruptcy, at least we have the Black House.
Now, from that discovery, we can see that the fund sold the house for $0 to who? Another entity of the fund, which is also owned by Jay Morrison. This is the same thing that we saw with the marketing. There was a $2 million marketing budget at a point, but see, that money was also paid to another subsidiary of Jay Morrison who has no expertise in marketing. Do you see what's happening here? The patterns of corruption? That's actually right. But we didn't know why the fund would sell the house to $0 to another part of the fund. But then we found out from Mr. Orlando Minor, who is associated with Pocket Watching with JT, also in St. Louis. He's also a real estate expert. And in this clip, he's going to break down exactly what happened.
So JT sent me this screenshot and he said, Orlando, can you explain this to me? I took a look at this and I said, this is what I do. So let's go ahead and take a look at this paperwork here and I can explain to you guys exactly what's going on here. So as we see here, we see that the property was refinanced and it looks like a purchase. Well, there's a good reason for that. So in this transaction of the Legacy Center, what exactly happened here is a gift purchase, guys. So I know you don't understand what a gift purchase is. I'm gonna make this very simple. A gift purchase is basically used when someone normally goes through probate or a parent dies or some family member dies. That asset is being switched over from one entity to another entity, so person to person. And instead of doing a refinance, it's called a gift purchase because that property is moving over to a person or another entity. And that's basically what happened here in this Jay Morrison thing. He basically did a cash out refi and just switched over the name. What the cash is actually being used for? I don't know. We can all speculate, but the point is that he literally just did a cash out and he switched over the names. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Orlando, why would he switch over names? Couldn't he have just did a regular refi underneath that LLC? And I would say, ding, 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 you're correct. He could have done that. But why would someone switch over an LLC? I mean, I don't know. We can all assume. In my experience, it's normally because the LLC is in some form of distress. Let it be legal or whatnot or etc. But the point is they want to remove, here, listen to me on this. They want to remove the LLC from attached to the property. And in this scenario, he cashed out with the change of the LLC.
Now I want to go back to the part where Pocket Watching with JT talks about the fact that Boyce Watkins said that the crown jewel of the Tulsa real estate fund was the Black House. Let's go back and rewind and hear that part, and then we're going to come back.
Not too long ago, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he said that, he really doesn't pay attention to the numbers. He's happy with the fund mainly because of the Legacy Center. The Legacy Center is the crown jewel, in his words, I believe. And even though the numbers may look bad, even though it looks like the fund could be going into bankruptcy, at least we have the Black House.
And I know you guys don't believe that actually is what Boyce Watkins said. But again, I did my research and I looked through some videos to see if he actually made this statement. Here is what I found.
Now, again, my position has been very, very simple. When you have a business dispute, there's a way you handle business disputes. If you have a business dispute, you could take things to court. You can call the authorities. From what I understand, there was a full SEC investigation into the Morrison fund. Now, by the way, the fund, if it struggles financially, you do know that y'all do understand that when a black man, especially one with a criminal record, has to defend himself with the feds, it's going to cost millions, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to do that. Y'all do understand that just the mere scrutiny, just the mere racial profiling of a black-owned business can destroy the business. Do y'all get that? Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not sitting here saying that the Tulsa fund was perfect. I'm not sitting here saying Jay Morrison's perfect. I don't know. I just know him as a friend. I know that I invested in the Tulsa fund. I'm happy with my investment because I love the crown jewel. The crown jewel of the investment was the Black House down in Atlanta.
So now let me get back to Boyce. Boyce has been under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of stress because he's been defending the fund and making a lot of ad hominem attacks on people like myself, people like Pocket Watching with JT, trying to shift the goalpost. But even Boyce Watkins apparently didn't know that the house was sold. It technically was sold to somebody else within the organization of Jay Morrison. But now what's going to happen is they're taking a loan on that house to keep the fund going. And that fund had $13 million of cash money. So now how is it that the Black House is sold? See, there is no way that Boyce Watkins can make any excuse for the behavior of Jay Morrison. And also Boyce Watkins is complicit in this fund as well. And once this information is out to the public, which it already is, Boyce Watkins will have an argument that will based around this idea of, well, you don't do this with white businesses. Why do you want to tear down a brother trying to do something? Why you got to be hating on another black man? All of these arguments, which really don't surmise anything, right? All we're dealing with is the fact that you don't want to be accountable for the fact that he is a scammer, okay? That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the fact that Jay Morrison is a scammer, okay? How is it that black people gave you the money, you mismanaged the money, and then now you're taking a loan out on the money and you're not going before the people to tell them what you're trying to do, okay? That's true. That's the fact. And Boyce Watkins is talking about the crown jewel of this is the Black House. And when he's making his rebuttal to Yvette Carnell, he doesn't even know the house is sold. See, this is what happens in the black business community, especially some of these guys online who are number one frauds, fake gurus, who are liars, and who want to abuse black people of their money. And as soon as you ask for any form of accountability, what do they tell you? They say, you don't do this to white people. White people are scamming the community for all kinds of dollars, a lot of money. The money is gargantuous, right? That's what they're going to say. All of the time it's going to be an excuse. But now the way that Jay Morrison has behaved, and he's even looking for new investors, it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. And the fact that Boyce Watkins sits his ass up there, wherever he's at in Iceland or Denmark, and tries to make excuses for this man's behavior lets you know everything you need to know about Dr. Boyce Watkins and why you should never take business advice from somebody like that. This is completely sad, guys. And I feel very sorry for those people who lost their money. I feel very sad for people who got taken advantage of, but let it be a lesson to you, all right? These guys on the internet who claim to be in the black business school, who claim to want B1 when they really are B none, they're looking many times to take advantage of the same people that they say they're trying to liberate. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode of Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.